Very good morning. My name is Peter Kalang. I'm the chairman of Set Rivers, and I would like to extend our warm welcome to all of you who are here today for this press conference. The state government of Sarawak is planning to build 12 dams, at least 12 dams, by the year 2030. This is in connection with the SCORE, which is Sarawak Corridor of Renewable Energy. Because of that, they have built one. The first of the 12 is Murum Dam, which was already built and now is under impoundment. According to their plan, it should be online. Now looking at building the next dam, the next of the 12 dams, and that dam is the Baram Dam. It built it to be 1,200 megawatt power, installed power there, and it will affect about 20,000 people from between 26 to 30 villages in the Baram. In all this so-called getting consent from the people, they have been given briefing to the headman. They did not actually ask for the opinion or consent of the people. There have been a lot of complaints from the ground regarding the process whereby the government is trying to push the plan through, and in response to that, Set Rivers has sent out a group to do a study on the ground level.
The team of the fact-finding mission composed of 3 of us: Tanya Lee from the International Rivers, Thomas Jalong, and myself, Meng Chu, independent social and environmental consultant. We carry out the studies in February from 22nd to 28th. We cover about 13 communities among the 26 villages that are affected. The villages represent of 3 major ethnic groups there affected. There's Kenya, Kaya, and Penan. Well, SEIA, or Social Environmental Impact Assessment, is not mandatory in fact. EIA, yes, Environmental Impact Assessment, but the EIA is not being published, and SEIA is still in the process, I believe. It's a little overdue. It was supposed to be out by middle of this year, but we haven't seen any report. So we were looking only at mainly the process at the ground level and the villages. We carry out interviews and observation. It is not mandatory, but it is a kind of voluntary corporate standards that is mainly for the purpose for investment. And there seems to be some kind of gaps or some kind of mismatch between the assessor, which is the camp science who are assigned to do the job or mandated to do the job, and the villager consider that as an effort to obtain the consent. And for many villagers, no consent. Therefore, there's no need for such an assessment. So this makes the process, I think, stalled in halfway. And our studies have the following findings: denial of right to information and lack of transparency, and also lack of respect for the principle of free, prior, informed consent, which is enshrined in the UN DRIP, United Nations Declaration of Indigenous Peoples' Rights. And there is violations of the right to meaningful participation, the extinguishment of customary land right, especially for construction of the access road that has been carried out, and violation of the right to livelihood, because the vast area of the land and forest will be inundated, that they depend for living. Use of coercion against villagers, including the issuing of punitive measures, threats, and intimidation. You will hear more from the community representative later. And violation of rights of indigenous people to self-determination. And our report also tabled out a number of recommendations to 3 parties. First, to the Sarawak Energy and Sarawak government that they should respect the Baram residents' decision to withhold consent for the project by immediately withdrawing from the area, publicly release all studies, surveys and plans, return all land acquired for the Baram Dam to the native customary right landholders, respect and abide by the Malaysian Federal Court rulings, which has many cases ruled in favor of the NCR land right, and the provision of the Federal Constitution to uphold native customary land right in Sarawak. The second party is the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, the commission to take immediate measures to launch an independent and detailed investigation into allegation of SEB's act of corruption and coercion of villagers at Baram. And number three, the third party we want to recommend is the financial institutions and the technical organization that provide support to the dams of Sarawak, to withdraw all financial and technical support to ACP. So these are the key points that we would like to highlight.
I would like to give a short report on how the campaign consultant conducted the SEIA at my kampong, that is Kampong Lepugat, Tanjung Terpalit Baram, and other kampongs in Baram. 4 of these campaign consultants came over to my longhouses, so they told us that they will meet us individually, seeking all the particulars that are required to fill in the SEIA form. They told us that if we don't fill in the SEIA form, we will not benefit anything from the government in aspect of development facilities, compensation at the new settlement. During this negotiation also, the campaign consultant did not even explain about the impact of the dam building. They only explained much about the transformation of our livelihood into a more prosperous future. Because most of my people in my longhouse did not want the dam, thus we opposed the consultation to be conducted. Not long after that, a delegation of representatives from various government departments headed by Deputy Resident of Miri Division also made a visit to my longhouse. Representatives were from the Land and Survey Department, Forestry Department, from the Police, Sarawak Energy Berhad, Sarawak Administrative officers from the Medical Department, Education Department, and also from the Ministry of Resource Planning and Environment. The Deputy Resident of Miri also told us how important it is for us to fill in the SEIA survey form. He also asked me to get my people to fill and sign the SEIA form. But I told him that I cannot force people to sign if they don't want. During my roadshow program, visiting the longhouses in Baram, and my visit to a Penang longhouse in Akapata area also, a headman told me that the Baram representative in the Legislative Assembly also advised him to fill in the SEIA form. If he failed to do it, his post will be terminated because he is the headman. To conclude my report, I myself and on behalf of the people of Baram strongly rejected the proposed Baram Dam, and because the way they have been negotiating with us it's not a proper channel and it's against the law. So, and those, we strongly reject the Vega project to be built at our area.